you. Say hi to the rest of the lecturers there. Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. For its summer 2026 short courses running from June 22nd to August 20th. Choose from Introduction to Basic Massage, Refrigeration and Air Conditioning RAC Intermediate, Basic Tiling, Welding and Metal Fabrication, African Batik, Sustainable Culinary Arts Farm to Table Experience, and Basic Electricals. Visit www.dsc.edu.dm and click on the Short Courses tab to register today. Call 255-8109 for more information.
Here's our reminder to you. Update your account, keep your details true. When we make requests, please comply too. It helps us protect both me and you and keeps your finances safe and secure. Your data and privacy matter too. Remember, protection is our promise to you. Together in all we do, safeguarding our NCCU community. That's our commitment to you. Sing it with us now. Rent free.
Here's a winner. Win an unforgettable experience during the FIFA World Cup games and win with Coca-Cola. Here's how you can enter. On cap 591 ml Coke original taste or Coke Zero Sugar with the football label. Find the unique code on the cap. Send that code via WhatsApp to 265-5792 or scan the QR code in stores. It's that easy. One entry can make you win one of 5 flat screen smart TVs during the FIFA World Cup game or win FIFA merchandise instantly with over 1,500 prizes to be won. For more details, follow Josephine Gabriel Facebook page. Score with Coca-Cola and win!
All right, Dominica, we're here. Just heard of this short courses at the Dominica State College. Inquire if you want to participate, huh? Dominica, we're here in the afternoon, and of course, our guests for the next hour and 20 minutes, 22 minutes, is Dr. Fontaine. Dr. Fontaine is the leader of the United Workers' Party. And I know there are many, many questions at this time. We do apologize for those of you who are not hearing the voices there on Facebook, but that has been corrected. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you to our text in the house. Dr. Fontaine, good afternoon to you, sir. Good afternoon to you. How are you doing?
Good afternoon. Doing well, and good afternoon to our many listeners across Dominica and the world. It's a pleasure to be back in studio with you.
Any special message you want to tell your people at this time as we begin this program?
Absolutely, Matt. I want to just reassure the Dominican public that the United Workers' Party is committed to bringing positive change to this country, that the journey that has been started many, many years ago continues, and every day that passes is one day closer to realizing change, to realizing a different and better Dominica. We are committed to putting money once again into the pockets of the Dominican people. We have a plan that is geared at bringing growth and development to Dominica. And we're excited to be able to talk about those things and really just to let the Dominican public know that all is not lost. It's unfortunate that Dominica is probably at its lowest point right now with respect to the economy, social issues, the ban from the United States on visitors and people coming from Dominica, the fact that our agriculture is down, the youth unemployment levels are way up there. Young people are suffering, the elderly are suffering, the pain and suffering of the Dominican public is very much in evidence. And we're at a low point in Dominica right now, but I just want to encourage everyone to be optimistic, to be hopeful, to be positive that change will come to Dominica and that the United Workers' Party stands ready to lead that charge.
How optimistic you are, Dr. Thompson Fontaine, that you are ready for that charge? I know you talk about 10 pillars all the time, but politics, they say, is somewhat dynamic. How confident are you that you can take this country just run with it?
I'm very confident, Matt. In fact, when I got elected as the party leader the very first time, I made one promise and only one promise to the delegates of the United Workers' Party. And that promise was that I, as leader of the United Workers' Party, was going to ensure a victory at the next general election, whenever that was held. And my actions and behaviors and that of the party since then has been towards that, towards how do we unseat a government that is very much entrenched, has been in office now for 26 years and counting, a government that has really transformed Dominica in a way that none of us have liked and would have appreciated, a government that has really stepped on the heads, I think, of the Dominican public in a way that people feel very depressed, people feel very unsure about the future. And to lead that charge against that kind of government that seems to have an endless amount of monies when it comes to campaign time, to be able to charter jets at $300,000 from New York to bring people into Dominica. It seems to have endless amount of resources to offer people bribes, to offer $1,000 to young people who never worked for the entire 5 years. That's the kind of machinery that we're up against. And to lead that charge with a message of hope, a message of positivity, a message that we can do better, that we have the resources within Dominica to be able to turn this country around. And so that was my only promise, and everything since then has been geared towards ensuring that we, in fact, obtain this victory at the polls.
So you do realize that politics have become very transactional. There's money involved, Dr. Thompson Fontaine. And again, how are you? I think I've asked that question before. How are you going to counter that?
Yes. So the way we have been countering that, Matt, is something that we have asked our candidates and our caretakers to engage themselves and to spend time with the people. Visit them in their homes, talk to them, engage them in conversation, find out how they're doing, be concerned about their welfare, their well-being. I believe that's the only way that you can insulate yourself against this kind of money. When you build a personal rapport with people, that they understand that you have their best interest at heart. They understand that when you form the government, you'll be looking out for them and for their children. I think that is the only way to do it. We certainly cannot match the Labour Party in terms of sources of funds and resources. But what we can do is to show our care and concern for the Dominican public. And in fact, Matt, it is that concern and it is that important thing that has happened that has given me a reminder, a very pointed reminder as to why I'm in this fight. A few days ago, I happened to be doing just what I've been advising our candidates to do, just talking to a family, went to the home and so on. And the single mother was telling me that she has not been able to have a warm meal for the past couple of days. So I said, "But what's going on? How come you're not able?" She says, "Well, my gas ran out, and it's been, I think she said it was 3 days. So 3 days of gas ran out. She did not have the $43 to buy a new cylinder of gas." And that, I think, reminded me in a very pointed way.
So you stepped in?
Why we are. Obviously, I stopped the conversation and went to get a cylinder of gas for her. But that is not the point. The point is that when people have been dragged into such poverty that a mother with 3 young girls cannot afford to get a replacement cylinder of gas, it tells you how far we have come in this country. It tells you, the kind of pain that people are suffering. And I'm sure you get it every day. I'm sure you get the constant calls for help and for assistance. I mean, barely a day passes by, somebody not asking for some kind of support financially. That is where we are in this country. And that, sadly, the Prime Minister has been able to play upon people in that level of need and so on. And it is really, really, I mean, it is shocking for me to be able to even relay that and then to let people understand how deep in trouble this country is. But that is where we are. And so, to me, everything else pales into insignificance compared to what we can do to uplift our country, compared to what we can do to elevate our people, to bring agriculture back, to harness our water resources, to go into manufacturing, to really put money back into the pockets of the Dominican public. And that is what we need to do. We need to alleviate the suffering of the Dominican public. They're suffering. And you don't alleviate this poverty by simply giving a handout during election times to buy a vote. And I think the general public, the Dominican public now are much wiser now. They are now realizing that, they get support during the election period and then 5 years of being on their own and struggling on their own. So that is what we need to focus on, I believe. And that's where the party, the United Workers' Party, is focused on. How do we bring that change? How do we make people's lives better? How do we make them understand that we care for and we are concerned about their well-being? And I think that is a winning message, and that is what, quite frankly, we are doing.
So you're showing your face on the ground more often?
Show it more often as possible, as organized as possible. There was a time when we had a series of town hall meetings, then we moved from town hall meetings to public meetings. But as a constant in all of this, as I said, is just encouraging our candidates to make that connection with the people, to remind them that we are there for them, to remind them that we have a party that is concerned about their well-being, a party that cares about them, and a party that is prepared to bring positive change to Dominica. And that is the message that is going out to the Dominican public. That is a message that the Dominican public is increasingly embracing. People want to hear about our 10 pillars. They want more substance, if you like. They want to hear more about what we plan to do for the businessmen, for the small businesses, for the public servants, what we plan to do about taxes, what we plan to do about the high cost of living, what we plan to do about the excessive charges on the port. These are the real life concerns that we are confronted with, and these things that the people of Dominica are asking us to address.
Dr. Thompson Fontaine, last week, you, of course, and I can play it again, you offered a olive branch. Was that very necessary?
To some extent it was, Matt, because I believe that there has been a lot of discussion around the division or imagine the real disunity in the party. So my thing is, well, if there may be disaffected persons, there may be those who probably have not necessarily embraced the vision as we move forward. Now is the chance for us to do that, because what I want people to understand, Matt, it is not about us. We as individuals, we should not be in this for ourselves. We should be there because we care about the people of Dominica. And that was my message. If there's no need for us to be fighting each other. There is no need for us to be bickering. There is no need for us to be weakening ourselves, because we are there on behalf of the people of Dominica.
All have the same mission.
That we have the same mission. And if we have the same mission, a mission that, by the way, is bigger than any single individual. If today or tomorrow I exit the scene, somebody else will come in. But let us keep the vision. Let us keep the mission of what is important. And that's what this olive branch is all about, that we can unite around a common purpose, a common vision for a better Dominica, a common vision of putting money into the pockets of the Dominican public. Let us unite around that purpose, and let us do what is right by the people of the
Since
country.
you made that statement, have you seen a difference in terms of what has been happening?
I've had several good conversations with different individuals, persons who have called to say, yes, that's a good thing that you're doing. Let us bury whatever it is in the past and let us move forward. And that is what, quite frankly, to me is important, that people understand. And really the real motivation, as I said, was to let each of us understand that this mission that we're in is beyond us. It's not about egos. It's not about personalities. It's not about Dr. Thompson Fontaine or the other individual. It's about a group of persons coming together to bring positive change to Dominica. And let us move forward in that respect. Let us move forward with that.
On the issue of the olive branch, somebody's writing the olive branch has been offered and accepted, according to this person. It is imperative that Dr. Fontaine makes a public statement distancing himself and the UWP from mischief makers such as Viva Mamo and Zed Lloyd, who continue to undermine all efforts to being made to unite the party. If Dr. Fontaine fails to act, the olive branch will turn to a bunch of what's that? Horns and prickles. So please, Dr. Fontaine, try to make a statement distancing yourself from these people who have been, I guess.
But I'm not. An olive branch is embracing. It's not distancing. You don't distance yourself from people. I mean, and I'm not even sure what the person is talking about. I'm distancing myself from. I am saying that
Because in terms of statements that have been made by the persons that they identified, do you know who the Viva Mamo is?
I have since learned of his identity. Yes.
Yes.
And there are individuals that are posting different things on social media. I mean, if you just take a look on Facebook, there are a number of voices in addition to those that you mentioned. And I honestly do not believe it's my place to be chastising everybody that posts something. I think it's very important that people understand the mission that we're on. I think that there were persons who, when they see those messages, that they confront them, they take them down as they see. When I see it, I will talk about it, I'll confront it. And that's how it should be done. But I cannot spend my time patrolling Facebook to be chastising people for what they write on social media.
You don't have the time.
I don't have the time. And it does not serve me well. If I have an hour in an afternoon to spend on Facebook, an hour to go on the ground, I'll take the hour on the ground any and every day. And I simply, at this point, do not have the time to be policing social media and policing people's statements. People have to understand that we are in this era of freedom of speech. People use their time as they see fit. I use my as I see fit. And I cannot take responsibility for every single person that writes something on social media. I think it is just foolish. It is ridiculous to think that as a leader of a party, that anybody that says anything, somehow, because the person has announced support for me, that I should take responsibility for what they write. I refuse to. That makes no sense. That makes absolutely no sense.
We're going to start taking phone calls because I want this conversation to be a very, interactive one. On the telephone, are you there? Yes, please.
Yes, I'm there. I'm Mr. Perche.
And make it fast. Yes, go ahead.
Yes, I spoke to you this morning, but I want to let Dr. Fontaine hear it. Why is it that people don't like, whether you I'm working in the government section, you're a minister or what, or you are and whether you're a minister or not, people should be able to go down, walk from different little tracks, and you get to go and find where the people are. Because what you hear most of them right in the center of Tarish Street or Gutter. There is another place there behind the hospital, which they call Gutter East. You understand? And we have never seen nobody, nothing. Sometimes land and survey come there, they say something, they disappear. And to come and see how an old bridge we have there, to see how old people climbing about big long step, 50-something step and so on there. And no way out. So what I want to say to you, may the people that want to be where they put the other outside, go and walk them in the valley, walk them in the gutter side, walk down here between people. It's not when the day come, everybody said that, well, he was a good man giving some people food and not giving good man doing good for other people. We are at the back there. Gutter East, that is the name of the place. We pass a 57 bridge and pass a gutter. In there, that dirty.
I think she's just asking for more the face that you need in the Rosenau to be in the gutter area.
Yes, visibility on the ground. Absolutely, ma'am. I hear you very clearly on this, and I agree with you. And that's what I've been talking about, the ability for candidates to be on the ground, to be everywhere, to be in the homes of the people, to understand their pain, understand their concerns, understand what they're going through, and then be able to somehow channel all of what they learn and they understand into policy that will benefit them. And that is exactly what I'm talking about. So yes, we accept your invitation for the Gutter area and that side of the Rosenhof.
It's a good time to connect the conversation. We heard last Friday, and I heard you on the news this morning speaking about, that you plan to contest the by-election. Do you have a candidate in that area? Because I heard Mr. Luge saying that he is the candidate.
Did he say he is or is the possible candidate?
Basically, he said he's on the wrong side of the campaign.
Well, yeah, as you know, Honorable Luge won the 2014 election in the Rosenhof constituency. He won the 2019 election as well, and under a considerable sacrifice for the good of the party and for the good of political reform, he decided not to contest the 2022 elections. It was a collective decision of the party that he supported, at great personal loss to himself, obviously, and great personal sacrifice to himself. So I want to thank Danny Luge for the sacrifice that he made, because it was a sacrifice about electoral reform. It was a sacrifice about getting a voters list that the people of Dominica can be happy about, and removing all of the shenanigans and all of the problems that we've seen in elections. So I really want to thank him for his service, that this is a man that has shown his ability to stand up for the people of this country. And obviously, as we go into by-election, we don't know when the by-election is going to be. We don't even know if there's going to be a by-election. There is a possibility that the Prime Minister could call a general election as well. So that is part of what, as a party, together, we'll take decisions on which candidates are going up in which constituencies. And once that is finalized, then we'll inform the Dominican public.
So no official announcement has been made on a candidate for the Rosenhof constituency?
That is correct. And when that happens, you'll hear it from the party officially.
Is it, should I say then that you may want to consider Danny, because he's already said, well, the campaign has begun? Is it a possibility that he may be the candidate?
I mean, anybody thinking about within that, Danny would automatically be one of the first persons to be considered, given the fact that I said, and I laid out for you, his winning legacy in that constituency. So, and I think it is fair to say, if there was not a boycott of the last election, he would have won even more handsomely in that constituency. So obviously, he must be in the runnings for that. But like I said, it's something that we as a party, as we strategize, as we look forward, we will make a final decision on this, and then we'll be able to announce officially when the elections are announced.
When the elections are announced. Then you'll announce the candidate.
It depends. It depends. Of course, in terms of how soon that comes up, we are being informed it maybe as soon as this week that the announcement is made. Our part now is just to prepare ourselves, and that is something that we have been doing as a matter of priority. For the past several weeks, we have been engaged in selecting candidates for the various constituencies. And I just want to put the Dominican public on notice that we have a formidable team of candidates that we will be able to offer to the Dominican public, a formidable team of candidates, a team that shows a lot of great balance in terms of gender balance, youth involvement, experience as well. And just a really, we will see, Matt, at the end of the day, we will find that the United Workers' Party will be able to present to the Dominican public arguably the best team ever assembled in terms of election in here in Dominica, in terms of the skill sets, in terms of the persons who will be giving themselves forward, the experience and so on. And it's a very exciting time for us. Exciting time because as we seek to make this vision real for the people of Dominica, we're assembling that team of persons that will be able to do.
And don't you think that you're dragging this too long in terms of announcing the candidates?
I understand that a number of persons want us to do it sooner rather than later. Personally, I would like it to be. I would have loved it to have been last year. I would have loved to have had over 21 candidates lined up since last year or 2 years ago. The reality is, it's a process that we're going through. At some times, some persons are interested. At other times, they are not. Persons lose interest. Persons move away, and it is not an easier process as just going into a supermarket and picking up an item. Mm-hmm. It is different than that. It is something where you have to engage sometimes endlessly in conversation. You have to try to persuade some people. Like you might see a candidate that you believe is ideal, and you are trying to persuade that candidate, and the person, they're not really biting because they're probably not as focused or. But you figure that this would be an excellent candidate, and other people in the meantime are coming around. but you want to probably look at this particular candidate, and so that it takes time for all of that to work itself out. I can only give the assurance that when the election is called, that our people will be in place. Before that, obviously, like we did about 2 months ago, we named our Roseau Central candidate. That's the Roseau Central candidate that we have announced publicly to the world. Ms. Juliet Shillingford, who is an excellent candidate, and she's on the ground, she's running, doing all of the right things in the Roseau Central constituency. We want to see that repeated throughout the constituencies, and we are working as hard as we can to do that as quickly as we can.
I'm hearing that you have not made up your mind as it relates to Marigot. Is that true? Because, of course, the Marigot constituency is saying, well, we have selected Delbert, but the party has not made a decision on this one.
Yeah, well, again, Matt, you see, it's a process, and all of that obviously is an internal process, and I honestly do not want the public to spend too much time on these internal processes. I want to give them the assurance that.
But they need to start working, Dr. Fontaine.
Sorry?
They would need to start working on the ground because the election may be just around the corner.
All right. So, Matt, there were constituencies where we do not have a candidate as yet. And we've been working. We've had several public meetings. We had public meetings in Campbell. We had public meetings in Warner. We have planned for Mao and so on. We don't have an announced candidate there as yet. It does not mean that you don't do the work if we don't have a candidate in place. I think the important thing is as soon as the candidates become available, and as quickly as we can, we make them available to the public. But there is a process involved that we are going through, and we would certainly like to encourage persons to be patient. But Dominicans need to understand this. Our Dominican people need to understand this, that at the end of the day...
But the same could have been said about Roseau. So you announce a candidate for Roseau, so why not Marigot? Or why not Castle Bruce? Why not,
Yes,
that's a question that may be asked at this time.
But again,
which is a real question, Doctor.
A real question, but again, it's a process. You don't know how long it took for the Roseau Central process to evolve, right? So all I'm saying is that it takes time for those processes to go through. So allow the executive, as it is bound to do, to seek or to select candidates that are nominated from the floor, or from the various constituencies. That's an ongoing process. We're doing everything to expedite that process. It is continuing, and candidates will be announced. I'm sure you'll be hearing in the next 2-3 weeks. You'll be hearing candidates, coming forward.
I'm going to take you up on that. 2-3 weeks. I'm saying 2-3 weeks. That's the month end. Okay. So Marigot, your turn is coming. Hello, talk to me based on what Mr. Thompson just said. Are you there, caller? Yes.
Yes, Mark.
Yes.
I want to say something. He said about candidates and whatever, process and all those things. What I want to know is that due to the length of time, we do not how to local election. So if a constituency has chosen their representative for so long, why are they still waiting so long to accept it? Whilst other constituencies don't have as yet. Why just work with those that have their candidate already?
Yes, ma'am. Indeed, I agree with you, and that's what we are doing. Where we have candidates, we are working with them. Where we don't have, we are working to get. It's an ongoing process, and as you rightly indicated, elections can be any day, any time now. The Prime Minister obviously keeps emphasizing, and I know this, Matt, on several occasions when you've asked the Prime Minister about delaying the process of general election until after the confirmation period. He has never given you a straight answer on this. He's always fallen back to his constitutional right to call an election at any time. So we have to go by that the Prime Minister seems bent on calling an election at any time, even outside of the confirmation or within the confirmation period. So, yeah, again,
that's to the latest point. So she's saying, well, we have already selected a candidate by a constituency branch, although two nominees are on the floor, but we have already made up our mind who we want our candidate to be. So why just not make the announcement?
But Matt, that is the internal process of the party, and people need to respect that. We have an internal process that we go through in our candidate selection. So let us do it, and that is exactly what we're doing. But we are moving as quickly as we can. And we have other constituencies that we are working on. And that's why I can even say now that we're going to be presenting a very formidable team of candidates to the Dominican public. All of that is ongoing.
All right, 44933, and somebody's saying, well, you see the UPP has been selecting the candidates, and why not the Workers' Party? But again, that's a different question. Are you there, caller? Yes.
Matt, good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon to you.
Dr. Fontaine, how are you?
Well,
Matt,
thank
I'm
you.
not in no party, but I just want to say something. Dr. Fontaine said they have a process. Well, leave that alone. They have the process. That's what Marigot there, but you leave that alone. Another thing I want to say, how do Dominicans vote? Do they vote for party or they vote for individual? Dominicans vote for parties. So whoever this party send up this, they'll vote for them. If they want that party, they'll vote for that. If they want the other party. Dominicans doesn't vote for individual, man. They vote for party. So no matter who you send up, they choose and they decide I go with that party. So I don't see this thing about to say who are your candidates to me. That doesn't make no sense to me because Dominicans don't vote for individuals. They vote for party. Okay? That's what I have to say. And the other parties might have they announced their candidate.
Some of them.
Yeah, but I just find, as I say, I'm not in, but I just find your pressure, Dr. Fontaine, who going up there, marry God. Much of y'all leave that alone. Good afternoon.
All right, somebody's saying again, just a thought there on the WhatsApp message. Mr. Thompson Fontaine need to get his act together as soon as possible on the Marigot nomination situation. How they can allow people to vote and they're not living in Dominica? If he doesn't present the list that votes, I support Annie to run independent. Does the UWP do not need to win in Marigot because we lack representation due to the handpicking situation, and that needs to stop? Matt, there's corruption going on in Marigot. Well, I have no facts about that. So that's your statement, not mine, okay? Ask him about the secret meeting in Marigot. The time is different in Marigot. This time is different in Marigot. I don't know. You know about any secret meeting?
Matt, and quite frankly, that is not important. I mean, this individual is trying to delve into the personal, internal affairs of the party, and that's quite frankly should not be. I keep stressing, and that's the point I really want people to understand, that there is a process that we go through in the party. If we have a constitution that we respect, we have a process. And I would just like to urge all of Dominica to please allow us the space and the time to do it in a manner that will give us candidates in all of the constituencies that are ready to run and win the next election.
You said 2 weeks. Today's the 15th.
No, when I said 2 weeks, I said going down the road, we'll be making announcements as soon as they come. It could be as soon as in 2 weeks' time. The announcements will be coming. Individuals are putting. One thing I'm very happy about, Matt, and it speaks, I believe, to the strength of the party and to the fact that the people of Dominica are tuning into the vision of the United Workers' Party. They are very supportive of the leadership of the party. It's a number of new individuals that are pushing up their hands to become candidates. That to me is extremely exciting.
How close are you in terms of relationship with the people of the Marigot constituency, in terms of the executive, the leadership there? You have a good relationship with this?
A very good relationship, excellent relationship.
Mr. Linton, Mr. James?
The chairperson of the constituency association is Mr. Davis George. About a month ago, I was sitting in his living room, myself and the president, discussing the politics of the country with him. So we have a very good relationship, not only with him, but also with various individuals as well in that constituency. After all, the Marigot people have sacrificed quite a bit. If you drive from the airport, you realize the almost hatred or just the fact, neglect, I think is a better term, that this government of Dominica has for the Marigot people, only because they support a different party, and they've shown that support repeatedly over the years. You look at the conditions of the road. The worst part of the Marigot to Roseau Road is the Marigot portion of the road through the village of Marigot. It is just stunning to me. The neglect of this constituency. So they are paying a very real price for supporting the United Workers' Party, and we have to honor that sacrifice. We have to honor the fact that the people of Marigot have stood up very strong and very, in a very forceful manner to show their dissent, to show that they are in no way, shape, or form going to support the Labour Party government, and we are very happy about that. And you can only provide support, as much support as you can, to the people of Marigot, because they're there standing tall and strong with the United Workers' Party, and that will continue into the future.
On the telephone, yes. So we have Justice 210 already. Hello, talk to me. Yes.
Okay, Mr. That's not wrong. I just want
Please.
to say something there to Mr. Fontaine. Mr. Fontaine, I am just giving a little advice as an elderly person. The young, I noticed on Saturday I was going out there, not too far away in town, in Goodwill. And I saw a group, plenty young people up on the road, dressed in their colors and their things. And I felt ashamed as an elderly lady because I seen big, large women with a little piece of pants, all their leg, all their self outside. I am saying to myself, when people are in charge of people and groups, make them dress properly, because if you're going to people to talk to people about something, you cannot be coming from the person though, all your big legs outside, badly dressed, and they sit down like shit that's scattered all around. I was very ashamed, but I still talk to the young people. But I mean, people need to send, if they're senior people to do some work, dress properly.
Okay, caller, thank you very much. She's encouraging you, your representative, to dress properly. That's what I got in the message.
Yes, indeed. All right.
419-309-596. Somebody's asked me to ask a very question I asked Mr. Linton last week. Are you a friend of Roosevelt Skerritt?
Why is that question important, man?
I don't know. That's what they was asking. Because I asked that same question to Mr. Linton last week.
Well, I will tell you, I'm a friend of all, enemy of none. You know, I have known Mr. Skerritt for a few years now. In fact, I first saw him. In fact, I think I first saw Mr. Skerritt when he became the Prime Minister. I'm not sure I knew him before that.
Okay.
Not when he became Prime Minister. In fact, the first time I met Mr. Skerritt, I remember, was I was trying to do a project with an online project. He was the Minister of Education.
Okay.
And I approached him, a project that would train our young people in make them what we call at the time Cisco certified to run computers and so on for a U.S. company.
He was the education minister.
He was the education minister, and sadly, he did not take it up. That is my first recollection of the prime minister. So it has always been a very it's a working type, if you like, type of relationship. And but I can tell you this: I am very much dissatisfied with the way he's run this country. I believe that he has failed miserably in running this country. I am disappointed in him that he would take $64,000 each month from the Dominican public to live in a house. I am disappointed in the fact that we have sought that he's allowed so much high taxes on the Dominican public. The cost of living he's done nothing about. I'm extremely disappointed in his leadership of this country. So it's not a question of friendship or anything of that sort. It's a question of he's put himself up to be the leader of this country and he has failed miserably. And that's why I'm calling him out. That's why I am calling on him to, literally do the right thing. I think after 26 years, he appears to be tired. He appears to be no longer engaged in bringing Dominica out of its economic woes and its problems. And I think it's quite frankly, it's a time for him to step aside and allow the persons who have the good wishes of the Dominican public, persons who have the best intention for this country, to put themselves forward.
All right, let's take out another phone call. The phone calls are coming in and we don't have too much time. Remember, we have just about 45 minutes. I know that you'd want that interview to continue until 6 o'clock if you had a chance. Hello, talk to me on the telephone. Are you there? Yes. Caller. We don't have too much time. Let's take another phone call. Yes, hello.
Matt, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
Yes, this is Bernard Morrow again. I always like to state my name. Dr. Thompson Fontaine. This is Bernard Morrow, giving you an advice. I know all politicians have a little bit of lying in them, but not as much as Satan. And Mr. Fontaine, I love you, I love Linton, I love all the rest, because they've made their time, and so be it. Yeah, but that enemy thing and that joking around and calling names and all of that, that's not going to get us nowhere. All right? So let us refrain from that. And Mr. Thompson, I like you. I love your style. I love your style. Though it's not everybody that say something that you have to respond to it like a vermin wozo. So, Mr. Thompson, keep the faith, and we are with you. Just like we were with Lennox, No, it's not Lennox time. No, it's your time. No, we are with you. We are, and I am with. I'm Danny Luge. I am basically a UWPI, and nobody gonna change that.
Okay, caller, let's take another phone call. Yes, 2:15 at the afternoon time on radio, June 15th. Are you there? Yes.
Yes, Matt, I would just like Mr. Thompson to clarify something he said in relation to, like, I think he was talking about Marigot, but he said that he spoke with the chairperson of the committee.
You consider
Sir John Davis, John Davis. Did I say George? Sorry, John Davis. It's Mr. John Davis. Yes.
yeah.
Oh yes, so absolutely. Davis George is our caretaker in the Calibishi
It's
constituency.
John Davis.
Mr.
Yeah.
John Davis.
Hello,
yes.
talk to me. Yes.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
good afternoon, Matt.
Yes.
And good afternoon, Doctor. Well, I know you're diplomatic. I hear you answer the question if this man is your friend or not. But maybe it's Christianity that they're interesting. But as far as I understand, look like you gain him distance more than the other one they asked the question the other day. For this man, you see Thompson, for what this man do to this Prime Minister, they do to all you people I look up to. I don't use the word, but I would do something to him if it wasn't wrong in God's sight and I get a chance. So I don't see why you should have this man as your friend. That is the PM spirit. Now the other thing, with the Margaret business there, you better come with that. I hear you say it was in me who joining human thing. Don't they? Just deal with the matter fair and just. Or else we'll have to just keep security in power or something like that. But we don't want no compromising. Make a vote in Margaret and who get elected to be the leader, get the leader. I'll fall back when I gather my strength.
All right, caller. Thank you very much. Now, I think Thompson said a little while ago, friend of all, enemy of none. Hey, somebody saying that was well said. But Thompson, I want to go back to, of course, a statement that was made earlier. I was told last week by Mr. Linton that he don't remember when it was made. Did Delbert Paris ever said that he could not work with you at any time?
I too don't remember him saying that.
So why would people be propagating that?
I don't know. He could have said it, but I said I can't recall personally him saying that.
So
I don't know.
What is your relationship with Delbert right now?
My relationship with Delbert is quite good, Matt. Even if Delbert had said that in the past,
Right.
it does not matter.
It doesn't? No?
No. What's important is how we're able to work now going forward. Delbert is an important part of the process to make change in this country. And I want to embrace everybody that wants to play a part in bringing change in this country. You're giving that olive branch to Delbert and everybody else. Everybody. Like I said, I can't remember making that statement. What is important for me is his willingness to work to bring that change to Dominica, and that is what matters. Because part of this even this olive branch situation is in a way to forget the past and to move forward. We cannot keep dwelling on the past. We cannot keep dwelling on the negative aspects of the past. Like I say, this country is in trouble. Our people are suffering. Remember this single mom of 3 daughters who was not able to buy a cylinder of gas. I mean, that is what is important. And sometimes we spend so many times on what this person said, what the other person said. Trivial stuff where people are hurting. People are going to bed at night hungry. That is what we need to focus on as Dominica. Our population of 70,000. Can we lift each other up to the point where we can help each other, we can provide for each other, and we can have a society where nobody has to go through those kinds of pain and suffering? That is what motivates me. That is what I'm concerned about.
All right, Dominica, 449-3095. We're going to take a break and we'll come back. For words from our sponsors, we're talking to our friend, and of course, Dr. Thompson Fountain, leader of the United Workers' Party. Yeah?
Tell you why pop makes all of them die. Times are hard, but you've got to include pop on your grocery list to protect you and your family against all flying and crawling insects, especially dengue mosquitoes. Pop's powerful formula kills insects fast. Pop is best on pests. Pop makes all of them die. Get serious, get back. Pop make all of them die.
We are in the hurricane season. Don't forget to secure your home, board up windows, reinforce garage doors, and trim trees to prevent damage from flying debris.
Welcome to the 28th edition of the St. Kitts Music Festival, featuring Kilani, Fantasia, Beres Hammond, Luciano, Marshall Montano, Voice, Vaughn, Dancehall Giant, Movado, Idonian, Valiant, Massacre, Cranium, Taurus Riley, Steel Pulse, Dean Fraser and the Black Soil Band, Shanil Muir, Diani, New Vibes Band International, Shelly and Signal Band, Edwin Yewi and Crossfire, and Woolcat HE, June 25th to June 27th, St. Kitts. Get your tickets now at stkittsmusicfestival.com. The St. Kitts Music Festival, where music meets paradise.
Dio Kubule, Teta no Kagwe, Dio Kubule, Teta Mulekwe, Hele Kubule, Luka Chedeko, Selma Kubule, Pake Andy Anko, Bakalache, 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 Dio no Bebe Kubule, Bakalache, 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 Dio no Bebe Kubule, Bakalache, 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 no Bebe Kubule, Bakalache, 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 no Bebe Kubule. Drink responsibly.
Win an unforgettable experience during the FIFA World Cup games and win with Coca-Cola. Here's how you can enter. On cap a 591 ml Coke Original Taste or Coke Zero Sugar with the football label. Find the unique code under the cap. Send that code via WhatsApp to 265-5792 or scan the QR code in stores. It's that easy. One entry can make you win one of 5 flat-screen smart TVs during the FIFA World Cup game or win FIFA merchandise instantly with over 1,500 prizes to be won. For more details, follow Josephine Gabriel Facebook page. Score with Coca-Cola and win.
AutoTrade is introducing our very own mobile app. Yes, the AutoTrade app is here. From scheduling your service appointments, request financing, checking our vehicle and parts inventory, to receiving personalized coupons and sales specials. Life is so much easier with the new AutoTrade app. Download the AutoTrade app from the Play Store or App Store today. Call us at 255-6800. AutoTrade, it's more than a vehicle, it's a relationship.
Universal elegance, the place to shop. Home. Universal elegance, universal elegance, universal elegance.
All right, Dominica, yes, the questions, the phone calls are coming in, so please feel free to ask. We have just about another 26 or 36 more minutes. Hello there, caller. Yes?
Good afternoon, Mr. Thompson. Good afternoon, Matt.
Yes, sir.
What we want is very demonic leader to get out from the leadership of this country. People mustn't put words in Thompson Fountain mouth. He knows what to say. He's not an idiot. He knows it. Now, yesterday, 6 men came good area, liberate. Asked him what did they want? What do we all want? He said they must go. They want to ask him, no, it's too late. It's long overdue. They must pack and get out from this. They have destroyed Dominica. You want to keep it that time? Goodbye to them.
All right, thank you very much. Now, somebody saying Miss Dr. Fontaine is demonstrating the true leadership in its response to your questions this afternoon, and how poised and intelligently he comes across. Hats off to you, Dr. Fontaine, doing an extremely job, and you're doing extremely well thus far. That's a WhatsApp message. So, Dr. Fontaine, take a bow. Of course, the question of unity always comes up. as it relates to Dr. Fontaine. We've been hearing it from many, many people. We talked, maybe 80, 90% of the persons think that the United Workers' Party cannot do it together, alone, cannot do it alone. And you have to join up with some other parties, the Freedom Party, UPP, going forward. Have you decided on that format just yet?
Matt, I think for us in the United Workers' Party is a question of joining the opposition. I think what they're saying is that it's not good to go into an election with a divided opposition, especially where you have a government that has been entrenched for that length of time.
Mm-hmm.
You need a united opposition to go up against this government. And that, obviously, I accept that. I accept that there is need for a united front. And that may entail, will entail having discussions with other political parties.
Have you begun those discussions yet?
Those discussions are ongoing.
Those
discussions are ongoing because I think there's an understanding, as I said, that you need every single one on board. And it's about embracing everyone.
On the telephone, are you there, yes? Caller. He's calling the phone but not paying attention. Caller, are you there?
Hey, Mr. Pelte, blessings to you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Fontaine, blessings to you, sir.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, blessings. Maybe a bit of contradiction. Maybe in your haste to answer the question, be a little bit more rational when you said that, like you don't think it's your responsibility. You offer the olive branch. Those who that are mischief makers from outside causing problem inside, and those who are inside causing problem inside, is your responsibility to try to remedy the situation like you run in a company. This is a company. This is an organization. So it is not wise to say you cannot spend. No, just make a general statement disassociating yourself with every garbage that is being spewed by Viva Mamo or Miss Charles or whoever. The next thing, Doc, I hear Skerrit talk about he going to form a one-party state, like a government of national security, criminality, unity, whatever the hell he's talking about. Doc, what would be your approach? Skerrit say after that election, he's going to Parliament to make Dominica a one-party state. What will be your approach? What will be your reaction towards all of that? Thank you.
My reaction would be total and complete rejection of that. I believe Dominica is better served with a multi-party democracy. I do not believe that there should be a one-party state. But I also took the Prime Minister's comments to be a recognition that is losing the next election. If he's talking about unifying with other people, it is clear that he will not have the majority when the next election is called. So that to me is probably the very first time I've heard the Prime Minister admit that is what we already know, that he's going to lose the next general election.
Okay. 449-3095, 449-3096, 449-3097. We're taking phone calls. And of course, yours. You're welcome. I know sometimes it's difficult to get in at the... let me see if I can get... I know a Hamburg has been trying to call. Let me see if I can get him on my cell phone. Are you there, Hamburg? Yes, hello. Hello. No, nobody there. Again, the numbers are 449-3095, 449-3096, 449-3097.
Pop makes all of them die. Don't bother with the long chat, Pop tell you why. Pop makes all of them die. Times are hard, but you've got to include Pop on your grocery list to protect you and your family against all flying and crawling insects, especially dengue mosquitoes. Pop's powerful formula kills insects fast. Pop is best on pets. Pop makes all of them die. Get serious, get back. Pop make all of them die.
Hello, good afternoon to you. Yes, are you there? Yeah?
Yes, yeah.
Yes, Mola.
Bon après-midi, Thompson Fontaine.
Good afternoon.
Right. My first person, Thompson Fontaine, c'est leader of United Workers Party. nous on pas élection dans Roseau North. Mais ça si au voyez general election. Thompson, il parle toute parole qui parle. C'est parole qui a parlé. Mon Dominique ni pour parler, Blessing ni pour parler because Blessing, ça si confirme mais toujours les ba on qualité bagay qui pas faire sens. Moi même ka dit c'est straight because là où ka hit ton ball, ou ka hit ball là pour battre là, pour wicket là. So Thompson we heading for to change Dominica and we have to change it. So don't worry with the little talking, the little thing that happening. You put an olive branch, everybody have to catch it and let us go with it. Because do not go and frustrate yourself. We have to, because we have a man there 26 years and his money the man they're sharing. And our constituency in England, they don't have nothing. Look, we still fighting in England for PAL reps. We have a lot of work to do. We're fighting for PAL reps for Labour Party. So we have a lot of work to do. Thompson, Martin Peltier, là où est mon Dominique Cadeau côté 17 dat en bas doule nous Dominique. Nous dit pour sortir en bas doule ça. Donc he cannot carry too much load when you have too much load the lying down. So we have to go ahead. Don't let Blessing come and tell you about olive branch. You have to put because Blessing cannot know about the olive branch. After the while, when you start to give him scene. So do not go over about. Let us go and let us win the election and let us change Dominica. And good afternoon, my first birthday junior.
Good afternoon, Amber. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Somebody says Thompson's response on processes is on spot. There must be process of forms and procedures in such matters. Oh boy, so many telephone calls. Now tell Thompson to act on Marigold very quickly. Stop speaking on the process. The fact is Marigold recommended a candidate that will be a sure win, a Roseau North. The talk on the ground is if Danny runs, he will win. Not sure about that, the status of the Salisbury, or not sure about the status of Salisbury, but we can safely say that there are 3 sure seats for the UWP with the potential Roseau Central coming to back up the UWP. Stop wasting time on the process, confirm the 3 candidates, and move on to concentrate on the other constituencies. Too much time and energy is being spent trying to justify the process. Consider sending Ann Edwards to contest Wesley and leave Marigold alone. Too much of your time is wasted on that issue. 449-3095-9697. Are you there, caller? Yes. Yes, sir.
Good morning again.
Yes, sir.
Can I ask you to come to the question, please?
But you asking you right there, so take your time because other people are trying to get in, so do it quick.
Yeah, Mr. Thompson, is the branch, the olive branch that you offer, if I put it in soil, will it make roots?
Yeah. You're not sure to answer the question?
Yeah, whether the olive branch will take roots. I mean, I know certain trees in Dominica, when you plant the branches, that's how they reproduce. Others, you have to plant the seeds. So I don't know.
Hello, talk to me, Mr. Carbon. Are you there, sir?
Good afternoon, Martin. Good afternoon to our political leader.
Yes.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Matt, I offer my full support to Dr. Tom Fontaine as he put a team together to try to bring back our country, especially the economy of the country. Because, Matt, you realize what happened to Dominica. The government is 80% of the economy is controlled by the government. And we are moving to, as he said, he wants a one-party state. That is making Dominica into Cuba or Venezuela or China. Matt, Dominicans must know if they would like that type of government, that Mr. Skerrit accepted ALBA with an alternative to the Americas. And our history, our culture is that each person is able to go out and acquire wealth and become independent. And we need a government that will facilitate that, encourage people to go out and think for themselves and put their energies and build wealth for themselves, their family, and their community. So as we see the clear difference between what we are offering as a party and what the Labour Party is trying to develop in Dominica. Thank you and good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon.
But tell me, blessings that me free. They're not coming from the style. He doing the right thing, let him do it.
Dr. Fountain, greetings. My brother, it's up to the people what they want. You understand, this country is in a situation for how many years? Look at our current situation right now in Dominica. Look at how Mr. Gregwell, businessman, he's the president or whatever associate with the tourism in the Caribbean or something like that. And he still couldn't get a visa. All the labor rights, the children that's in school overseas in the Americas. If they come down, they won't be able to go back to school. I hope they have that in their hearts and their mind. And what caused that to happen is up to the people what they want. And remember the past election, if the Labour Party didn't do the cheating and them something there, they would not be in office. Because people left their constituency and went in other constituency and vote. You understand? Which is wrong. And they know exactly what they did. They know that. Dr. Fountain, all I have to tell you, man, in the Marigot situation, you decide who you want. I don't know those individuals. You know them. So you decide who you want. And I'm telling you, I'll go with the lady. You understand what I'm saying? I would go with the lady. That's my opinion. That's how I feel. Because of what I see happen in the house, and who agree with who, one's supposed to stand up against the government, and he went along with them. You decide who you want. Let none of them tell. It's up to the Marigot people. Let me see if they're going to cut their nose to spite their face, knowing that their nose is part of their own face. Thank you. I'm listening.
Dr. Fountain, are you aware as to the situation we Dominicans and visas? I know this month may be the month when we have to decide if we change to accommodate the Americans, or maybe some things will change. Are you aware of any situation?
Yes, but about 3 weeks ago, I was in Washington, D.C. for the second time this year, and actually went to see the head of the Caribbean division at the State Department. And that was one of the questions that I posed in terms of when can we see some kind of relief? When can we see a change in the visa stance of the United States government? And they were very clear that there is a process involved, that it will be reviewed, and it depends upon what action the government takes over that 6-month period that will determine that. So that tells me, and based on what I know about what the government has not done, that tells me that it is very likely that this will continue, that the visa ban will continue on Dominica for the next few months, and that is not good. As you know, number of persons.
But what can we do to change this stuff?
One of the
this is dragging on.
One of the biggest sticking points for us has been the CBI program, and the fact that it is the government of the United States, and that was repeated to me in Washington. They believe that the way the program is being conducted poses a threat to the security of the United States, in the sense that individuals are receiving passports, individuals are receiving access to Dominican documents that could be a threat to the U.S. interests, and that is their main concern. And as far as they're concerned, they have not seen anything done to address that, in terms of the vetting process, in terms of knowing who those passports are going to, and that is where the real issue is.
But again, if you become the prime minister tomorrow, how would you address it? Because CBI is one of our main sources of revenue. How would you can't just cut it down, but you have to do something.
We have been on record as saying that the CBI program will be phased out. And that's the reason why, Matt, if you look very closely at our 10 pillars to shared prosperity, it does not include the CBI program. We have been very clear. We have been able to come up with a 10-pillar plan, or if you like, proposal for revitalizing the economy, for putting money into the pockets of the Dominican public, and it does not include the CBI program. And there's a very simple reason for that. It is very clear to us where we are now with the CBI program that it is not sustainable. We have been saying that for many years now, but it is clearly at the end of its run. And so planning forward, we have to plan with what we have, the resources that we have. What do we have in Dominica? We have abundant land, and talking about land, Matt, I just put on 1,000 plants of dashing this week,
I saw you in the video there.
Yeah, and just because I believe I want to encourage people in my community to do the same. I want them to be back in the land because they've largely abandoned the land. I want to lead by example. The agriculture, that's where we have to go. So putting the focus on agriculture, putting the focus on our water resources. We have billions of gallons of water on a daily basis rushing into the sea all over Dominica. We can harness that. Manufacturing industry that will put our people to work. So there are things that we are able to do outside of the CBI resources that will help. Now, the CBI, the main focus now has been on paying government salaries. For example, all of the NEP workers and so on, they're sustained by the CBI program. A lot of the government programs and projects is the CBI program. But at some point, this money is going to dry up. And so for us, we have to offer this alternative. We have done that successfully, I believe, in crafting a plan that is credible, a plan that can work, and a plan that suits very much Dominica, where it will now be able to produce. And one of the, if you like, one of the failings of the CBI program, I believe, as an economist, one of the failings of the CBI program is that although a lot of money was generated, it has not been able to take care of the needs of Dominicans across the board. And in any model of development, if you're trying to improve on the lives and the well-being of the populace, what you need to do is to have industry and to have different businesses and so on that can create employment opportunities for the people. Once you do that, once you begin to create wealth, once you begin to create generational wealth, that is how you transform your country. That is how you transform your economy. And the CBI has failed to do that. And that is why we are offering a plan that will focus on, firstly, creating jobs for the Dominican public. Secondly, building wealth for the Dominican public. And thirdly, creating generational wealth, where now when Dominicans are, when their life on earth is coming to an end, they have something to leave for their children and for their future, for the future generations. That is where we are at in terms of planning for the future of Dominica. And it's the future that, quite frankly, we do not see a place for the CBI program.
But tell me, because he said recently, I think in the post-budget consultation, that some aspect of the CBI will change. You heard him, right?
He said that, yeah, but the question is, will it change sufficiently to appease the U.S. government? I mean, that is a big question. The U.S.
Say
government,
more money will get into production and things like that.
Oh, that man, this program has been going for so many years. We've been asking for that. We've been begging and pleading. Put money into agriculture. Put money into the hands of the farmers. Put money into manufacturing. We've been begging for that. It does not happen. I don't know that's going to happen now at this late stage, because you recall what I told you from the outset, that the Prime Minister at this point, after 26 years, appears completely out of it. He's beaten. He's certainly in no position to offer anything of substance to the Dominican public, and that is where we are now.
I was told by a source that you were not invited in the post-budget consultation. Is that true, Dr.
That's correct. I was not invited. I was not invited. I was not.
If you were invited, would you have gone?
I would have gone, absolutely. I would have gone if invited, because I believe that...
Why do you think you were not invited?
But I'm not sure. And I think that's where the Prime Minister is making a mistake. And that is one difference you will see in my administration when we're able to have the United Workers' Party in office. I will be reaching out to persons across the board, individuals who have the knowledge, who have the skill set. I believe that's very important. You should not be excluded. Absolutely, Matt. You cannot exclude in a country of 70,000. You cannot be picking and choosing. You cannot be excluding persons who have something to offer concretely to Dominica because they vote for a different party. No, it should not be that way. And I do not subscribe to that. What I subscribe to and what I believe in is making use of the talents of the Dominican public. So I'm looking at you first as a Dominican, not as necessarily as who you support.
All right.
Party you support.
More telephone calls coming in here in the afternoon. Dr. Thompson Fontaine, the leader of the United Workers' Party. Are you there, caller?
Yes, Matt. Good afternoon.
To you, sir.
Dr. Thomas here. Matt, let me tell you that there are a lot of issues that are burning in the country right now that people really care deeply about. I was talking to a gentleman just last evening, and he cannot get young people to go to work for him. You know the reason, Matt? I'll tell you. The reason is because young people are asking him, why should they take the time to go to work for him when they can sit around the corner and wait for someone to come to hand them $300, $400, $500? The culture in the country has changed to where our young people are feeling that they don't want to work. You're hearing people are saying, hey, why should I go take a loan to go build a house? Why not just wait for mine because somebody I know got one? So I'm not going to go kill myself to go build my own house. I'll just sit around and wait. And they're promised that, hey, your turn will come, so they will sit around and wait for their turn. That's the type of culture and the type of things that we need to be talking about and we need to be working on to fix this country. There are the people of Westwood, Matt, they're waiting to find out what happened to the school that they were promised for the primary kids. They were promised the school back in April. To date, nothing has been done. The school was demolished with no plans of rebuilding a school. Backwards. You're going to demolish a school. You do as the United Workers' Party did when they were planning to build the airport. You build a school and then you dismantle the old school. No, they came in, they destroyed the school, and now the kids are having to go to school in the afternoon when they should be at home doing their homework and taking a nap. These are the kind of issues that the country has to deal with. I spoke to at least 8 people over the weekend who had yet to get paid. Some of them elderly people who need to be paid so they can build their homes. Those people are not being paid. One gentleman told me, I cannot certify what he said, but he went to get paid and they told him that there's a stack of checks waiting to be cleared at the financial center because there's no money. But these are the issues that really the Dominican people are concerned about. Those are the issues that affect their pockets. The cost at the port, the cost in the grocery store. Anything you buy in a store these days, it's $100. 5 items, $100. 10 items, $100 or more. Those are the bread and butter issues that people are concerned about. And these are the issues that Dr. Thompson Fontaine and the United Workers' Party wants to address and want to fix. And if we keep keeping our focus on things, on the trivial things that surround us, where the people in the country are really not concerned about or have very little concern for, instead of the things that are affecting them personally, then I think we're taking our eye off the ball. We need to be focused. The United Workers' Party is focused. Dr. Thompson Fontaine, as we well know, is a trained economist. And we need to be focused on how the United Workers' Party is going to fix this country when it gets into government, to take up the burden that the people of Dominica are currently under this regime.
Dr. Thomas, thank you very much. Now, Dr. Thompson Fontaine, I heard, was it last week? I heard the finance minister saying the economy has grown by 5%, or has grown by 4.5%. I want to be correct. Is that correct, sir? And if so, tell me why, or why you think it has grown.
Yeah, well, there's a major investment project underway in Dominica, and you'll see that practically all of the growth is in that area. It's in the investment sector. So, it's an investment in infrastructure that is driving this growth, and
so not growth all across the board.
It's not growth across the board. That is the reality of the situation. That is why we have the level of pain that I talked about earlier across Dominica, and in particular in the farming communities of Dominica.
All right, let's take a break, and we'll come back for more phone calls. We don't have too much time, but we'll do this and we'll come back, Dominica.
20 years. Celebrate, connect, and win 20 years with Digicel, celebrating relentless connectivity across Dominica, and we're giving back to you with more prizes and surprises.
Digital in 20. If you with Digicel, then you have plenty. 20 years we rolling with Digicel. If you're not with us, then hear me well. I have my TV, still have myself. I have my internet, all from Digicel. 20 years of real connection. So pay attention.
Win with the prizes, VIP experiences, brunch voucher, 6 months, bill free. Win more, simple. Activate, switch, stay connected. Win. Visit your nearest Digicel store or speak to an agent today.
2020, digital in 20. If you with Digicel, then you are plenty. I think with Digi you can win. Celebrate, connect and win.
Win an unforgettable experience during the FIFA World Cup games and win with Coca-Cola. Here's how you can enter. Uncap a 591 ml Coke original taste or Coke Zero Sugar with the football label. Find the unique code under the cap. Send that code via WhatsApp to 265-5792 or scan the QR code in stores. It's that easy. One entry can make you win one of 5 flat screen smart TVs during the FIFA World Cup game or win FIFA merchandise instantly with over 1,500 prizes to be won. For more details, follow Josephine Gabriel Facebook page. Score with Coca-Cola and win!
Dr. Fontaine, of course, the Trump administration is watching very closely our relationship with China. There's no secret about that. No secret. So it means that you might have to watch, if elected into government, you might have to pay close attention to your foreign policy. China or Taiwan? Have you made up your mind, sir?
Matt, the Trump administration has really been focused on revamping the Monroe Doctrine. Monroe was the U.S. president right after the war in the United States in the early 1950s. And one of the things that he tried to develop is the question of sphere of influence. At the time, the Cold War was very much on the move, and the whole thing was that the United States would not allow any kind of interference in its backyard, that it should exert its hegemony over the Caribbean area. And that was the Monroe Doctrine. Under the successive U.S. presidents, that has been lifted or not so much taken on board. But more recently, the Trump administration has been focused on that, where they're saying that they want to ensure that the United States maintain its influence over the Caribbean region. Now, that's very interesting because right now, the dominant player in a number of Caribbean countries are the Chinese. The Chinese are the ones that have been providing the infrastructure in Barbados, not Barbados so much, but Bahamas, Antigua, Jamaica, of course, Dominica, and different islands within the Caribbean. They're the ones that have been the dominant player. So the United States is saying that cannot be and should not be, that they should have this sphere of influence. And so that is an ongoing question. And of course, countries should be allowed to adopt their own independent foreign policy. They should, in other words, they should be able to put the country's interest first. And that is why when I look at the interests of the Chinese and the Dominicans, and especially in the Dominican context, I believe that there are some changes to be made. So I do not believe, for example, that it is fair that you have the Chinese doing major infrastructure projects in Dominica, and the Dominicans do not have a part of that, a piece of that pie.
So you'd want more Dominicans to get involved?
I would want more Dominicans to get involved. I would like our truckers.
But that starts with the contract. The initial contract.
Yes, exactly. That's the point that I'm making. So that interest to me is what works. What's in the best interest of our country. So I'm starting at that basic level. how can we improve the relationship to make it work more to the advantage of Dominica, so that the jobs that are being created, Dominicans can benefit from it. Our truckers, our heavy equipment operators, they're the ones that are benefiting most from it. So that is where I would start off with. And then if you have that relationship where your country is benefiting the most, it is then very easy to make an argument to the rest of the world that, hey, the Chinese are there, but they're in support of your overall economic development. They're providing jobs, they're providing opportunities for your people and so on. So it becomes more difficult for any country to argue against that. And that's why I'm saying that one way of dealing with that question of hegemony is to make the relationship work in the best interest of the Dominican people. And then you have a case to put forward to any other power that is trying to interfere with it.
Good afternoon, Matt. I was in two minds to confirm with all what was going on in the party, the UWP. But listen to Dr. Fontaine this afternoon. I've made up my mind to confirm he's ready to work with the people of Dominica. Are you getting any issues with the confirmation process?
Matt, we are still having problems, and in fact, I promised the people of Campbell that I would make a call to the electoral office today, because we found out that they were in the area of Campbell on Sunday, and they were not taking registrations, like new registrations. You know, persons, there were a number of persons. In fact, I got two separate calls. One person who brought two people in to register, and they were told that they could not register them. And another group of persons, 5 persons this morning, who sent me a text. They sent it jointly that said that they too were denied. They went in to register, and they were told that they could not register.
Because?
Apparently, they came just to do confirmations. But I'm saying, but it's the same process. It's the same process of filling a form, taking a picture, the same ID that is required for the confirmation process. That's why I was going to call the Electoral Commission to find out exactly what happened there in Campbell. So we want to be certain that the Electoral Commission is doing everything to make it easier for people to confirm and not more difficult, and make it easier for people to register as well, because they are ready to do just that, and they need that support from the Commission.
Your group is on the ground right now, getting people confirmed.
But and you know, one of the wonderful things about this is the individuals. Individuals are stepping up. So I was in the Lapin constituency yesterday, Sunday, and this one individual who told me that she personally took it upon herself to put people on a vehicle, take them to the polling station, go even as far as going into town to get marriage certificate, birth certificate, and so on, so people can get confirmed.
I just got some word this afternoon from a source that there's no paper at the registry to print the birth certificate, so you should follow that out.
Well, there was a problem earlier. I think that problem is resolved, because this individual told me that she got the birth certificate.
When was that?
That was this past week.
Well, I just heard today that there was no certificate, no birth printing papers.
It could have been later in the week that developed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the registry people are inquiring as to whether they can come get their birth certificates at this time. Let's take this voice note. Hello, yes.
Matthew, I heard a lot of people talking about this national unity or one-party state.
Mm-hmm.
But what a national unity is about, Matt, is when a government have decided that during trying times or national crisis, they've asked all other parties to join. And so far, we haven't got no emergency in Dominica. We haven't got any crisis, Matt. So there is no need for any national unity coming forward. So I think what Dominicans should maybe do is to educate themselves on what a national unity politically really means. And they will see what Skerrit is saying there is just talking as usual, saying any kind of nonsense that he thinks making sense. Yeah? And people will run after it without educating themselves. We are not in a crisis, Matt. Right now, we are not in an emergency. So I don't think there's any need for any national unity party to be formed. And we need opposition in Dominica and everywhere, Matt. As long as you're not in a dictatorship, every country need opposing forces. Okay? So there is no national unity party going to be formed. Not in Dominica.
According to you. Thank you very much. Now, Thompson, a lot of people have been saying they saw a little much confusion in the Granby constituency. Have you identified a candidate for that area?
We are working hard, Matt, on the Granby constituency. We will have somebody in place for sure. We are working on the Granby constituency.
More telephone calls in the afternoon. This is of course, we're having a few extra minutes. We started a little late here this afternoon, so we're going to take a few extra minutes to engage Dr. Fontaine. Are you there, caller? Yes?
Good afternoon, Matt.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
And let me say a special good afternoon to our distinguished leader, the Honorable Dr. Thompson Fontaine.
Thank you.
Dr. Fontaine, we have absolutely no doubt that you have what it takes to turn this country around. And we are behind you 100%. I will leave it at this in the interest of time. Okay.
That's it?
That's it. In the interest of time, you know, I normally like to bat longer, but because of time constraints, I got to go now.
All right, go, my brother. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. What about the Kalinago territory? You decided to put a candidate here?
The Kalinago territory, Matt, 21 constituencies. We are looking at every single constituency because we believe, Matt, above everything else, that the Dominican public, they are ready for change. There is no question in my mind that in every single constituency, even traditional labor strongholds, that the people are wanting change, because they realize that after 26 years, nothing is going to happen under this government. Nothing new or different or better is going to happen under the Dominican Labour Party. And hence the reason why they're putting their confidence in the 10 pillars, firstly, that we have offered, and also just in the competence of a team that the United Workers' Party is putting together.
All right, so somebody's saying, Matt, they have no blank certificates to print neither birth, death, or marriage. I went to get a death certificate last Thursday, and I didn't get it because of the shortage of printing material.
Okay, so that seemed to have been before that then. Yes.
Maybe that. Okay.
Yeah.
On the telephone, hello, talk to me. And as it relates to the Carib territory, I was told by some source that you guys have decided to leave this one for UPP. Is that confirmed?
Matt, but where are you getting this information from?
Yes.
I just told you that we are looking at contesting every single constituency, and we are also looking at collaborative efforts as well, because we have already established that we need to collaborate. So that is part of the ongoing discussions in terms of collaboration, where you're going to collaborate in, which constituencies you're going to collaborate on, all of that. All of this is
so you have no problem still with the other parties maybe launching their candidates?
No, I think every party, they have a responsibility. Each party has a responsibility to launch its candidates.
On the telephone, how you talk to me? Yes? Hello?
Yes, I'm there. Good afternoon, Thompson. You know, I support you fully, and we are supporters of the United Workers' Party. We have to rally around the leader. No matter who it is, we have to rally. Mike, one concern I have, though, I believe that your national executive, you are pussyfooting on certain issues, and you all need to get it done. Make some decisions quickly and fast, because if you look at the American elections, the midterms coming up, they want to get certain things done early. Remember, election is due next year, right? Constitutionally, I think next year. So you have certain decisions that you need to make, and make it fast and quickly. Be decisive and do what you got to do. Earlier is better. Don't be scared. Do what you have to do. We support you. Blessings.
Blessings to you. Now, another question coming to you. The Grand Forks constituency seemed to have been out of reach in a sense. I know you came close. What year was that? 2014, by about 12 votes. One time they said you won. Another time you said it was 6 or 12. How confident you are, sir, on winning the seat in Grand Forks at this time?
Matt, I'm going to tell you that the Grand Forks seat has never been a Labour seat.
Well, they've won.
They have won, but how they have won?
You think they stole that?
Absolutely, Matt. When I contested in 2018, they brought 85 persons down into the constituency that they claimed I lost by 5 votes. So that will give you an indication. Before that, Mr. Brown won, as well as Gertrude Roberts. We had 4 consecutive times we had that seat. So it has not been a Labour seat. Labour has manipulated the results of the elections in Grand Forks, and we are coming back. We're coming to take it back in a very strong way. And I'm very excited, Matt. The Grand Forks community, they're rallying around a man of the soil, someone who, although I was gone for many years, I was very truly gone from Grand Fond. I always maintained contact with the village, whether it was through my support for sports or just been involved, with helping people, school children and so on, always involved, and they're rallying around me in a way that is very, very powerful, and we are going to set the example. You're going to set the tone in the Grand Fond constituency as far as the size of the victory is concerned.
You're that confident?
Very confident, Matt. Like you said, and I'm not saying this just flippantly. Bear in mind that where the government has failed, I've succeeded. The government has failed to provide markets for the farmers of the Grand Fond and the neighboring countries. I've been able to come in with the support and the help of Bernie Ryan, our vice president in the party. I've been able to come in and in over 8 months, really been able to have a solid market for dashing. As you know, Grand Fond is big on dashing, one of the biggest dashing producers in the country. And now we are struggling to get dashing. All the dashing is being sold. The situation 2 years ago was that dashing was rotting in the ground, and a number of persons abandoned their fields. Now I'm seeing forests being cleared and dashing patches going up all over the place. It is clear to me that they understand that even outside of government, that I'm committed to putting money already in their pockets, and that's what we're all about. And we're not just talking, Matt. We are making it more comfortable and better for our people. They now have money in their pockets.
A confident Dr. Thompson.
And by the way, Matt, as you know, we have our dominoes going on, and I've been getting free beers. These are dashing farmers that tell me, "Come, thanks, bro. Come take a free drink. Come take a free drink."
All right.
We're now getting some monies into our pockets. That's what it's all about.
Hello, on the telephone. Are you there, caller? Yes. Caller. You're wasting time. 449-3095. I have to move on, because we don't have too much time. I'm going to give you 8 more minutes, and that's how we're going to wrap it up here in the afternoon with Dr. Fontaine. Are you there, caller? Yes.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Mr. Fontaine, thank you very much. You did well. You did well. Yeah, just what I expected. Yeah, and Mr. Fontaine, the party is governed by law, and then we have to go to the procedures, and then like you say, the procedure we have to go through. So when callers call in and I tell you have to act, is let the national act, and then we go by our law, and then we'll allow our law to prevail. Thank you very much, Mr. Fontaine.
All right, another controversial question again. Doctor, Mr. Linton made reference to you being at the service of the Labour Party. Why were you there? The Labour Party...
the Labour Party has a church in Dominica?
I don't think so.
No, Matt, I was in church with my community. I was in the Grand Fond Catholic Church, attending Mass with the constituents. And on that particular Sunday, the Labour Party had their celebration, and they chose to come to Mass in Grand Fond. They were coming to Mass in my church. I didn't go to their church. The Labour Party doesn't have a church. I was in the Catholic Church, and I do that regularly. So that's not even a question there.
You were in your church.
I was, yeah, absolutely. I was having service with my constituents.
Not invited there by the Labour Party.
No. I go there all the time. It just happened that they were having their service, and I was told afterwards by the priest that occasionally, because when I inquired, he said, well, occasionally they actually offer Mass. So if, for example, you want to have a special Mass on that Sunday, you can ask them for a regular Sunday, and they celebrate your Mass in that service, and that's what happened there.
Because on that day, I think Mr. Roosevelt Skerrit made an offer. He said something about the Labour.
About the mansions.
The mansions, yes.
The many houses in the. But Mr. Skerrit knows better than to try to poach me. I'm beyond poaching. I'm about bringing change to this country and helping Dominicans get out of a situation that they have been put in by this Prime Minister.
On the telephone, hello, talk to me, yes? Are you the caller? Quick. Hello, caller.
Yeah, I just want to tell Dr. Fontaine, I like his slogan. Friends of many and enemies of none. The thing is, I want to tell him that be aware of the silent majority. I can remember in Portsmouth, there's a certain time there was a big hullabaloo in Portsmouth, and Mike was in the elections, and Mike was always telling me, I have the silent majority. So what it means is that while we have the people making a lot of noise and a lot of talk, sometimes you have the silent majority voting nicely. So you have to make sure you have to do your job and continue to do, and not you alone, but everybody has to say to do the job and go on the ground. The other thing I want to say, Dr. Fontaine, I was happy that you mentioned, you give accolades to people like Lugay and even come to Paris. So I used to talk only about unity to me. Unity, which I support. So thank you, Dr. Fontaine. Thank you, Matt. Okay, bye-bye.
All right, thank you very much. Are we going to take our final phone calls? We have 2 more minutes. Are you there? Yes, free.
Thank you, Matt. Good
Thank you,
afternoon,
thank you.
Dr. Fontaine.
Yes, thank you.
Matt, the man went to church in his church in Grand Forks, and that is it. Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that?
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, all right. Dr. Fontaine, I know you'll be here again and again and again and again. I want to say thank you for joining us this afternoon. Any final comments before you go?
Yes, Matt, on a kind of a sad note, I want to extend support to the family of a young man from the village of La Plaine, Mr. Kieran George. He's a player. He's a member of the Southeast football team. He was involved in a serious bike accident on the weekend, sustained, I understand, broken bones in his neck. He has severe head injuries, broken legs, and he's currently at the ICU.
What's his name?
Kieran George.
Kieran George.
So I just want to extend support to his family and strength at a very difficult time for the young man. And of course, as you know, I'm a board member of the Southeast football team as well. Mm-hmm. And we certainly want to extend our support. And just to end, Matt, by saying a big thank you.
I also told that Totos, Nick Focolere, lost his brother today.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, my condolences. I'm not aware of that. So let me just say again a big thank you to all those who weighed in, those who wanted to weigh in but could not get through, and just to encourage all of us. Okay, let us focus. As I said, the big picture is to get rid of this current administration. The big picture is to ensure that Dominicans are able to move on in their lives, to be able to raise their families, and not to worry about where the next dollar is coming from. We believe that the United Workers' Party is in a position to bring positive change to Dominica. We believe that we're putting together a solid team that will be able to transform this country and will be able to provide jobs for the people of Dominica, opportunities for young people. We'll be able to bring back our diaspora from overseas to be able to help build this country. It's an exciting time to be involved in the politics of Dominica. Change is coming, change is with us, and we'll see a big difference when the next election is called and the United Workers' Party has the opportunity to take the reins of government in this country. But that can only happen if your support. Go out there, be sure to confirm, take your friends, ask your neighbor, ensure that every one of you gets to the confirmation booth, register the new voters, and let us go to the polls whenever this election is called to say goodbye to the Labour Party and usher in a United Workers' Party that is ready to work on behalf of the Dominican public. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Let's see if we can take one phone call and have a few minutes. Are you there? Just quickly, please. Quick. Are you there? You missed that opportunity, boy. Thank you. All right, Dominic, this is it for us here on the Talk on the Block. Thank you very much, Dr. Fontaine. We'll see you again. I know you.
Win an unforgettable experience during the FIFA World Cup games and win with Coca-Cola. Here's how you can enter. Uncap a 591 ml Coke Original Taste or Coke Zero Sugar with the football label. Find the unit code under the cap. Send that code via WhatsApp to 265-5792 or scan the QR code in stores. It's that easy. One entry can make you win one of 5 flat-screen smart TVs during the FIFA World Cup games. Or win FIFA merchandise instantly with over 1,500 prizes to be won. For more details, follow Josephine Gabriel Facebook page. Score with Coca-Cola and win!